It's Yamster from Sarcastic Gamer here, and I'm here with Phil from Ubisoft. So what is it you do at Ubisoft, Phil?
Yeah, I'm the UK brand manager on a number of games, namely Driver at the moment.
So generally at the moment you are Mr. Driver?
I'm Mr. Driver San Francisco, yeah.
So Driver San Francisco, it seems to be, it's a bit like life on Mars, really, isn't it? Because at the moment Tanner, at the end of Driver 3, Tanner ends up in a coma.
Yeah.
And what appears to have happened is, well, we don't know whether he's still in the coma, whether it's a dream or the moment, but obviously that's something we'll find out when the game comes out.
Yeah.
It seems to be that he's after this big crime lord in San Francisco, yeah?
Yeah, that's Jericho. So Jericho returns. I think Jericho featured in Driver in the second one, but he's the main nemesis for Tanner in San Francisco. And yeah, the storyline, there's a coma storyline, but we're not going to talk about it too much.
Yeah.
But, you know,
keep that under wraps.
I don't want to spoil it for people, you know, but there is the whole shift feature which we have shown at E3 and Gamescom, which is the mechanic to shift between cars.
I mean, that's one of the things that I think is really cool about, I mean, for a game called Driver, it should just be about driving.
We're returning to the brand values of what Driver is.
Yeah, you don't need to get out of the car. Instead, all you need to do is just shift into someone else's car and take over and drive it, which I think is a really cool idea.
It's an interesting concept, but it works, especially on the multiplayer. I don't know if you've played the multiplayer.
I've not. What's the multiplayer like?
Well, we've been showing one mode at the recent shows at Gamescom and E3, and it's called Trailblazer, so you're just following a car. But with 8 of you playing, all trying to get into the taillights of the car, where you get points if you're in the taillights. All your competitors are shifting from car to car, and it just creates a really interesting dynamic in multiplayer gaming. You can shift into a big 4x4 truck, which goes slow but is strong, or then you've got
and you can bash people out of the way.
Yeah. So if you accidentally get into that, you're a bit buggered. But
I don't know, our morph cars are pretty nippy. But on the subject of the cars, this is the first Driver game to have licensed cars in it.
Right, yeah.
And Tanner himself drives a Dodge Challenger.
Dodge Challenger RT is the 1970 model. But that's like a character in the game.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about a lot of great car chases in films, like in Bullet and things like that.
Yeah.
The car is the star.
Yeah.
And that seems to be what Driver seems about as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, you'll have these relatively iconic cars, like all cars people will recognise.
Yeah.
So it is all about making the car the star again, in the same way the Shift is doing the same thing.
Yeah, but with this one, we've got to return to the heavy handling and the heavy suspension of the original Driver. And the original team is back. Gareth Edmondson and Martin Edmondson, the two brothers, came up with the original idea. But yeah, the car's very much the star. But as you said before, there's over 60 licensed cars. We're signing contracts all the time at the moment with manufacturers. Fiat's signed up, the Alfa Romeos, obviously Dodge and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a new aspect of Driver, but yeah, no, it's a good aspect for me, I think. Yeah.
One thing I have to know, my favourite thing with the old Driver games was the film director. Is it coming back?
Yes, it's back.
Yes!
Yeah.
So will you be able to do, will it be fancier than before? Will it be more special effects and that sort of thing you can throw in? You got to remember Driver 3 had motion blur and slow-mo. Will there be that sort of effect so you can call together your own car chases?
Specifics, we've not seen or heard anything else.
And will you be able to share films with friends and that sort of thing? Is that
I'm
something?
Sure there'll be some game-to-web type.
Because if I was able to do that, that would be just my perfect driving game right there.
You know, we're not talking about everything at the moment. We'll reveal bits and pieces, but with every game these days, there's some sort of game-to-web mechanic, so we'll probably see that as well.
So that's Driver San Francisco. It's probably going to be the best car chase simulator you'll ever play. And when's it out?
It's an action-adventure.
An action-adventure driving game.
We're going to put the fun back into driving. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah. So when's it out?
Q1 2011.
Q1 2011, Driver San Francisco. There we go. Thanks very much, Phil.
That's me.